Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always good to connect with you with another midweek message. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're taking good care of your families. And please know that we love you and we're praying for you. I want to share with you a word today about grief. You're probably thinking, grief? Why in the world would we be talking about that on the midweek message? Well, it seems like we've had a lot of funerals lately at Fellowship. Over the course of the last 3 or 4 months, we've lost some loved ones from our church family. There have been a number of families in our community that have lost loved ones as well, and we've been honored to serve those families. And it just feels like we've had a lot of funerals lately, but that's not the only kind of grief. When we think of grief, we usually think of losing someone to death, but friends, there's a lot of ways to grieve. Grief is an emotion that we all feel when we lose someone or something that we love. And the fact is, friends, right now we're all dealing with a sense of loss, right? The pandemic, of course, has created a sense of loss because we're not able to do all the things we wanted to do. Perhaps you feel like you're being constrained from some of the activities or something that you've done in the past and you're not able to do them. Well, there's grief that goes along with that. Of course, with all the unrest in our society today due to elections, racial unrest, all of that, it just feels like there's a sense of grief in our world these days. Grief is normal. Grief is natural. It's very biblical. The Bible even tells us that God grieved on a number of occasions, still grieves today, meaning that God at times deals with this sense of sadness or disappointment that we call grief. But here's the thing, friends. While the Bible gives us permission to grieve, those of us who are followers of Jesus, we grieve differently. That's really important, so let me say that again. Even though the Bible gives us permission to grieve, and grief is a good thing, we grieve differently. Why? Well, because in 1 Thessalonians 4, the Bible tells us that we do not grieve as those who have no hope. See, sometimes grief gets bound up in grief, and it just feels like kind of a dead end. There was a loss of some kind, loss of a loved one, loss of a job, loss of health, loss of something relationally, and we feel like grief is just kind of a dead end, like we're never going to get through it, and we're always going to live with this sense of sadness or emptiness that is called grief. As believers, as followers of Jesus, we don't grieve that way. We grieve with hope. Hope is always forward thinking. Hope is about the future. So friends, when we say that we grieve with hope, that means that we feel the sadness. We feel the emptiness. We feel the sorrow of losing something, but we grieve with hope because we always know that God's not finished. That with whatever we're sorrowing over right now, we believe that God is capable of causing something good and powerful and even beautiful to come out of that in the future. So while we grieve today, we grieve believing that God is still at work, God is still powerful, and God is able to take very painful things and create something beautiful out of them in the future. So friends, you can grieve these days. If you feel some sadness or emptiness at the world around you, that's okay, but just grieve with hope, knowing that our God may just be getting started on something really awesome in our lives. May that be true for you. May you grieve with hope, and may others around you wonder why you're grieving differently than the world grieves. Always good to connect with you, friends. Please take good care of yourself. Know that we love you and praying for you. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.